Delhi with Chris.
Radio 1.
Huey Lewis and the News with Hip to Be Square right here on 94.3 Radio 1. This is Good Morning Delhi and it's 8 minutes past 9. I stand corrected. I introduced somebody else as my guest. In fact, it is Professor Rajiv Saxena. He is the Dean, Faculty of Life Sciences and Biotechnology and the Vice President of the South Asian University. He's with me this morning. Good morning, Professor Saxena. How are you doing?
Good morning.
So how did you like that loss of identity, or there was an identity crisis? But that's okay. That's all right. It's a great conversation starter. But actually, for you, it's a big deal because South Asian University is one of the first where you've been involved from the inception. And you said that the idea for starting the South Asian University came up in 2005?
2005 SAARC summit in Dhaka.
Okay.
Where our Prime Minister for the first time gave this idea that we should have, the SAARC region should have a university jointly sponsored by all the SAARC countries.
Okay, SAARC countries. For for some people who might be a little confused, since we have different kinds of associations, right, of different countries.
Exactly.
SAARC would comprise?
SAARC has 8 countries, and let me name them. Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Maldives.
Okay. So all
8
of these
countries.
Right. So this university is a nod or is dedicated to these countries.
Exactly. It is jointly established by these 8 countries.
Jointly established
in the sense
right here in our city.
Yeah, what happened that after Prime Minister gave the idea, there was a Bangladesh academician, Gohar Rizvi,
who
was asked to prepare a concept paper.
Okay.
And he was the one who suggested the best place to put the university would be New Delhi.
Acha.
Yeah. So, and then, the ball started rolling. And from 2008, we have been planning to open this. And finally, we could open the university in 2010.
Okay. So, this university comprises faculty and students drawn from these 8 countries.
Exactly.
Right here in our city.
That's right.
How did you all find the space?
Well, you see, space is the government of India has been very generous.
Right.
They've given us 100 acres of land right
in
South
helps to
Delhi.
know the government. But okay, so 400 students, it must be a really interesting environment.
Exactly. It's a multicultural environment where students from all these countries study together. They actually live in the hostels together.
Okay.
In fact, what we have made it mandatory that in one hostel room there should be students from different countries.
Oh, wow.
So they must learn to live with each other.
Wow. So talking about a globalized world.
Exactly.
This is fantastic. So more conversation with Professor Saxena, Rajiv Saxena. He's the Dean, Faculty of Life Sciences and Biotechnology at South Asian University, right here in Chanakyapuri, am I right?
Exactly.
And he's the Vice President. So he's with me this morning. We're going to be talking about education and a whole host of things. Don't go anywhere. 9:22 and this is Good Morning Delhi. My guest this morning, Professor Rajiv Saxena. He is the Dean, Faculty of Life Sciences and Biotechnology and the Vice President of South Asian University. Good morning, Professor Saxena. Great to have you in the studio. I think apart from me and people in education, everybody else gets up late. You must be used to 7 o'clock.
Yeah, we reach dot in time.
So there you go. So we have something in common.
Sure.
So talking about the South Asian University, you've been involved with the university from its inception, in fact from its very genesis, right? And it's been an interesting ride for you.
Yes, indeed.
SAARC, 8 different countries.
8 countries.
8 countries. Sorry. Faculty and students drawn from these countries.
Exactly.
And you do have quite a deluge of students wanting to get in, am I right?
Yeah, there are countries like Afghanistan, Nepal. We have deluge of applications from these countries. There are some smaller countries where we don't find sufficient number of students. But in the university, there are country-wise quotas for. And then we hold a entrance test, which at the same time in all the countries.
Okay.
And then we make merit list country-wise.
So when does this exam happen?
Well, I think this year we have advanced it by 2 months, and it's going to happen this week. We are announcing on our website.
Okay.
And we have started a PhD program also.
Okay. I'm coming back to the deluge, as a matter of fact, because I was asking about, the more active participants among the different countries. And you mentioned that you get a deluge of applications from Afghani students.
That is true. We have a large number of students from Afghanistan. In fact, they are over their quotas. because some other countries are not able to fill the quotas.
Isn't that interesting how this country, the young people, and I hear so much about Afghani students, they want so badly to learn.
Exactly.
And this is where we take things for granted, is that, we have a stable system. There's a lot that we should be proud of.
Exactly.
In our own country.
Exactly.
And look at these Afghani students, they don't have a system that's in place.
Well, their own academic system is in a bit of a turmoil.
Yeah.
And there are lots of young students who are willing to do higher education, and lots of them apply to us. And we welcome them, and actually we give them scholarships. And we have a very good representation of Afghani students in our. But we also have students from Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan.
And also talking about the programs that you'll offer. Let's talk about that for students listening and people listening.
Exactly. Yeah.
Biotechnology.
Biotechnology is a flagship program that we have. The first batch will graduate this year. And this is the MSc Biotechnology program that we have.
You're quite proud of this department.
The infrastructure required to run a biotechnology program is formidable.
I'm sure.
And we have spent lots of money and efforts in making state-of-the-art research labs, training labs. And the students from different countries, they are finding it really exhilarating to work in such labs.
Where do you find, which particular program do you find students opting for more?
For
computer science, you mentioned. Is there more?
Well, you see, in every subject, we get much more applications than we can accommodate.
Okay, always.
Always. But development economics and biotechnology are the ones where we get maximum number of applications.
Okay, and you're quite proud of it, being a biotechnologist
exactly.
yourself. Okay, we're going to come back and talk about more of this with Professor Rajiv Saxena. He's the Vice President of the South Asian University, and we're going to be talking about education. And really, it's a positive thing. It just brings a smile to your face when you think about all these students who are getting.
This is Good Morning Delhi with Chris.
Radio 1. Ollie Murs and the Rizzle Kicks, and I'm totally digging that song that was called Heart Skips a Beat right here on 94.3 Radio 1. Every time your favorite song comes on, you're like, oh, wow, my favorite song. So anyway, that was the sentiment. Good morning, Delhi, with me, Chris, and my guest this morning, Professor Rajiv Saxena, Dean, Faculty of Life Sciences and Biotechnology, and the Vice President of South Asian University right here in Delhi. And it's really quite a unique university.
Absolutely.
The whole old expression, too many cooks spoil a broth, but it's not the case with the South Asian University.
Well, you see, we have been involved with the setting of this university from the inception, and one of the core principle of SAARC is consensus.
Consensus.
Yes, and then we had task forces comprising experts from every country. And whatever rules, regulations we made for the university, we had to carry along with all the 8 countries with us.
That must be hard. It must be quite a challenge getting everybody's consensus on everything.
Exactly.
So are we talking about everything, like the big things and the little things, or just the big?
Well, you see, in framing the rules and regulation statutes, we require absolute consensus, and that has already happened.
All right.
But obviously, a university is a place where you can't have a consensus all the time in academic matters.
Yes,
there are people who have different opinions.
Yes, of course.
So there now we have a provision in our academic council, executive council, to have dissenting voices, and we can take majority decisions.
Yeah.
But in general, in SAARC, it's a consensus.
So you'll take a vote on it?
We can take a vote.
Okay. So we were talking, in fact, I drew your attention, and of course there's no way that you can ignore it, about those 2 brave hearts of ours who were killed quite brutally at the line of control, and that's all that there's been talk about in the papers and on TV. And I've been talking, and since you mentioned that India-Pakistani students are there living side by side, and you have a rule where in any room
hostel room.
Hostel room. There are 3 students, and they'll always be from different countries.
That is, we try our best to do that. And we have students from Pakistan also.
Right.
And they all get along very well at that level. In fact, I would like to tell you about an incident which happened last year.
Go ahead,
On, Pakistani's National Day is on 14th August.
Right.
And India's is on 15th August.
Correct.
Now, these Indian and Pakistani students came together and they told us that they want to celebrate the Independence Day together.
Acha.
And on 14th night, therefore, they so arranged that from 11 to 12, Pakistani students celebrated, and they had many programs.
Right.
And from 12 to 1, Indian students took over.
And there was a gala thing, and party and all that.
Wonderful. It was done collectively. And, we were very, very happy. We thought that this is truly the South Asian spirit. we should take over.
Because it's important to get along. It's so important. Just like you with your neighbor next door.
Exactly.
You never know when you need to call on your neighbor and they need you, you need them. It's the same principle,
It's the same principle. And also, you see, the problems that we share, they're very common problems.
Right.
It could be water sharing.
We have more in common than we have uncommon.
Exactly.
Right? And we need to celebrate those differences. So this whole thing right now, I know that, nerves are really raw with this incident, but we need to focus on the big picture. What do you say, Professor
We have to
Saxena?
focus on big picture, and eventually there is no other way out. We have to live in peace together.
Yeah, and we got to think about the next generation,
Exactly,
the young,
exactly,
who really want so badly for stability.
Exactly, and this is one of the prime motives of the South Asian University, to evolve a regional consciousness, that people should not only think of their own countries, but they should think of the region.
Right.
Because the problems are shared. I mean, it could be epidemic, or it could be water sharing.
Yeah, when Maldives had that coup.
Exactly.
It affected us. It bothers us.
Exactly.
Because it's like an irritant. There's something's amiss in the area, right?
Exactly. So we have to, but there was no forum where young students from different countries sit together and actually learn to listen to each other.
Wow.
Their point of views and all. So this is happening in our university.
Wonderful.
In every classrooms, you have students from different countries.
Wonderful.
They bring their own point of views.
Professor Saxena, the Vice President, South Asian University, which is a SAARC-driven initiative. 9:53, and this is Good Morning Delhi. My guest this morning is Professor Rajiv Saxena. He's the Dean, Faculty of Life Sciences and Biotechnology, and the Vice President of South Asian University. And I've been really, really quite... I've had really heartwarming feelings about everything you've told me about the university. 400 students, all drawn from different SAARC countries. And all getting along beautifully.
Faculty also
from different countries. And it's really sounds like a wonderful environment. What are your plans for this university? Where do you want to see this going?
Well, you see, this university is going to be a very comprehensive university. Initially, we'll even have medical school, engineering college also.
Okay.
And Government of India has been very, very, liberal about it. They have given us 100 acres land.
Okay.
Next to Indira Gandhi Open University, where the campus is coming up.
Wow.
When we shift there, because right now we are under acute space constraint. But once we go to our campus, every subject, it's very comprehensively, all the subjects will be covered in that university. So it's essentially going to be a postgraduate and research university.
Okay.
But we'll have a minor undergraduate program also as a feeder program, especially from smaller countries, because they can't really send students for the postgraduate program.
Right.
So that is, so very comprehensive university. It'll take, the campus would take about 2.5 to 3 years to come up.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we are located in Akbar Bhavan in Chanakyapuri.
Okay.
And we are running 7 programs.
Which we spoke of.
But the new thing this year we are doing is we are starting a PhD program in all these subjects.
A PhD program in all these 7 programs.
Exactly. So this, I think the admission notice will go out this week.
Okay.
And I think interested applicants can look at our website.
Okay.
Which is www.sau.ac.in. I think by the weekend the admission notice will be there. Those interested, are going to have a common entrance test in all SAARC countries. I think it is on 24th of March.
Okay.
Yeah, it's already the same date, same time. We'll have the entrance test. There'll be country-wise merit lists.
Okay.
And there are country-wise quotas of students. 50% of the students are from India.
Wow. And scholarship programs also, a lot.
We have a large number of scholarship programs. We have merit scholarships. Government of India has given us 100 scholarships.
Okay.
Prime Minister Manmohan Singh personally took the initiative. And this is for 5 low-developed countries. Out of the 8 SAARC countries, India, Pakistan and Sri Lanka is not included. All other countries are covered by these scholarships.
Okay.
But then we also give financial aid from universities' own funds.
Okay.
Anybody who is deserving and who really requires and who cannot study without this aid, we provide the aid.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much for being with me in the studio this morning, Professor Saxena. And that website also, www.sau.ac.in. If you'd like to know more about the South Asian University, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure.